Shalom, shalom. Bear with me 1 second. All right. All right, shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, rule well. And salutation and much love to Yakim out there pushing out his word in truth and sincerity. This is the brother Osh from Great Millstone, Tampa, back with another lesson, Lord, as well as edifying. And I was watching one of the Apostle Rakaz videos earlier, and sparked a topic in mind, to go into, because this is future prophecy. All right, so the hell with what's going on with all these other cats that are bugging out, which that's prophecy as well. But hey, let's focus on our enemies, man. These heathens, in this lesson. So I'm gonna start off in Exodus, all right, because these are other nations. They need to hear their judgment as well. Okay, we're like the book of Jeremiah says. The Lord sent Jeremiah to be a prophet unto the nation, unto all nations. Right? Not only because we're scattered among all the nations, but because the other nations need to hear these prophecies. All right. So, all right. They need to know that they're going into slavery at the end of the day. So let's start in Exodus 21:16. It says, "And he that stealeth a man and selleth him," and how was the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, put into captivity? Well, they were sold. They had auction blocks. They were put on ships and taken across the Atlantic, and were sold. Whether they were, because originally they brought the slaves back from the islands, the Caribbean islands, back to Spain, and they were selling them. All right. Then they started bringing so-called Negroes from the west coast of Africa, and actually from Spain as well. There was the first, if memory serves me right, the first slaves actually came from Spain. Okay, and then the Native Americans, of course, they were sold as well in Europe. It was because remember it was called transatlantic slave trade. Okay, so anybody that had a hand in that has to pay. And yeah, you had some jakes that were selling other jakes, but hey, that's why we went into punishment anyway. That's it. That ain't nothing new. Our people have been having an evil eye towards each other for the longest, because that's one of the curses that befell on us. All right, having an evil eye towards thy brother or thy neighbor. All right, but let's go back to Exodus 21:16. "And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death." So according to the Holy Bible, all right, the crimes that have been committed to the indigenous people of Americas, all right, the so-called Negroes that were brought here on slave ships, we're still under the hand of those people that did it to us. All right, they didn't give us up. They didn't set us free and give us our own land. All right, y'all stay over there and we'll stay over here. No, we're still under them. We're still subject to payments under them. All right, they never let us go. So what is the outcome of that according to the scriptures? Well, death. You got to put them to death because for their wickedness. All right, especially touching the apple of the Most High's eye, which is his chosen people, the Israelites. All right, let's go to and these are all scriptures we've read before, but it's been a while since I've personally done a video on this topic. So this is Revelation 13:9. "If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity." So again, this is they have history books. All right, the records are there to prove this, that we were led as a whole into captivity under the Edomites. That's what we have all in common. The so-called Negro, all right, African American, all right, the so-called Latinos, Hispanics, whatever they want to call themselves, Puerto Rican, Mexican, Cuban, and the Native Americans, all right, the Seminole Indians, the Cherokee Indians, all right, the what else you got? Apache Indian, all these native tribes, right? What do we all have in common? Well, we were all oppressed by the same devil, all right? And then he actually turned us against each other, because he would have Negroes hunting natives. He would have natives hunting Negroes. Okay, and so on and so forth. But what? It was because of captivity. They would put us in captivity. They put chains upon us. They would make us do manual labor for them for free, you know, and do atrocious things to us if we wouldn't meet their standard or their quotas. Cutting hands off, buck breaking, raping your woman in front of you, all right, busting your teeth out, force feeding you slop. You know, all these atrocious acts. They have to be given. Somebody has to answer for these acts. All right, and to this day, no one has. So it says, "He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword." And whose blessing is the sword? That tells you who's going into captivity and who's going to be slaughtered by the sword, because he's gone around with the sword and conquered the earth and butchered our people with the sword. That's his blessing. So and that's what he's been using. All right, when he came over here, when Christopher Columbus first hit the shores of the Caribbean islands, what did they do? They deceived the natives, all right, and started butchering them with what? The sword. And the modern day sword is a gun, all right. This nigga, and he loves blood. Esau loves blood. He likes to eat his steak rare, or his damn near got a heartbeat still. Okay, he got, you got these upper elites that be drinking that. They actually drink blood, man. You know, where they get the concept of vampires, a pasty old devil, all right, that drinks blood. Well, that's the Edomites. That's where they get the concept for a vampire. All right, can't be in the sun too long. All right, drinks blood and and he's pasty pale. Come on, who is that? And when you always like in the movies Blade and whatnot, who they're always like the hidden secret ones and shit. You know, the ones running things behind the scene. That's the Edomites for you. They love blood. All right, and they, that while back came out about the adrenochrome, how they drink baby blood, to stay youthful. That's how they be living to 110 years old. But nonetheless, he has to pay for these crimes that have been committed against us. And again, this is some atrocious things. You don't even know the half of it. We've only scratched the surface of the atrocities that this man has done to us during our captivity. Well, we're still in captivity, but when it was hardcore bondage, chains on us. Because but you can go read some of these things in their journals. Because a lot of these conquistadors, all right, and these slave owners and whatnot, they would keep blogs or journals of what they would do. And I've read Christopher Columbus's journal, and there's some atrocious things in there, man. Like, what the fuck? No wonder they don't make movies about this. I'm talking about some outrageous things that you can't even fathom. Cutting hands off, bro, just letting them bleed out. You imagine someone cut your hands off because you didn't find enough gold that day, and they just let you bleed out, and nobody's gonna help you. Cutting women's babies out their stomachs, stomping on the head of the baby. You know about the gator bait. Having young men carry them around. This is real. These are out of the mouth of the devil himself. Lord's will, I can I know I have the PDF of his journal somewhere, but anyway, they did some atrocious things, man. Pull your eyeballs out, cut your tongue off. You know what I'm saying? And then they send you back out there to keep working, or they'll whoop you to death. So we gonna get our payback, man. And it's a righteous thing, as the scriptures say. It's a righteous thing to recompense those that have troubled thee. Okay. Let's go to. Oh wait, let me finish the second Ezra's verse. This is okay, I lost my place here. All right, this is back in Revelation 13:10 again. Says, "He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword." Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So this is what the saints are waiting for, to get that payback. All right, like James Brown said, the big payback. And it's gonna be a sweet one too. Like I believe it was King David said that, to see the downfall of your enemy. Oh no, that I think it is apocrypha, but it says that it's nothing better than, or one of the seven things the Lord loveth, roughly paraphrasing, says seeing the enemy, the downfall of your enemy, man. And I'm not talking about your enemy of our own people, because you're not supposed to rejoice really in that, because our people are through, man. That that should bring tears to your eyes, when you sit here and look at our people in the low state and how pathetic they are. You know, it's truly sad, but I see why the Lord did it, because our people are a bunch of fucking savages, ungrateful assholes that deserve to go into slavery. All right, the Lord had to put our people into slavery. So you know what, Esau, we can't really blame you too much, because the Lord just used you as a tool. But you know what? That's too bad. Take it up with the Most High, because you still gonna get your ass whooped for it, because you went above and beyond. You took it too far. He forwarded our affliction. Like it's not. It wasn't him. It wasn't of you, Esau. This wasn't you. Um, that punished us. Is the Lord. He was just merely a vessel to punish his people, as he's done with other nations, the Hamites, our different Hamitic nations, the Canaanites, the Jebusites, all of them, all right, Elam, the Medes, all right, all these different the Syrians, they did the same thing. But Esau, you took it to a whole nother level, man. At least them nations allowed us to keep our heritage, you know, and it even allowed us to rebuild temple. What would you do? You sacked the temple, defiled it, defiled our people, and to the point where our people don't even know what the hell they are. They're the biggest morons on the planet, really, biggest freak shows, the most flamboyant, and it's all because of what his devil has pushed upon us, which is part of his oppression, man, his captivity, to change the mindsets of a royal people, man. Here it is, we're the most royalist people on the planet, and really, if you see the nature of Jake is actually some of the nicest people on the planet. But here it is that our people are so degenerate, meaning they fell away from their generations, their heritage, that they out here killing each other. Esau don't need to kill you niggas. You kill each other every day, but then you want to march in the streets. Come on, man. But that's the wine that he has pushed down your throat, man. Force fed you this, some philosophies. All right, so let's go to Jeremiah 30 verse 16. Jeremiah 30 and 16 says, "Therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured." And so all these nations that have devoured us over the years, over the millenniums, they have to be devoured now. So when the Lord returns, Yahweh Shai returns, we're going to take everything. We're going to take your idols, we're going to dash those into pieces. All right? We're going to take your women, and we're going to take your children and make them slaves. And the men, we're going to put you to work too. Well, don't worry about that. You're going to have plenty of work. You want to talk about unemployment? Well, you ain't got to worry about that. You ain't going to have to worry about that. Because we're going to put you to work. We're going to take your lands. And eventually down the road, these other nations we'll give them their land back. I know they'll still be subject to us, paying tributaries to us, but in a righteous way. Unlike Esau, okay? But, when the Lord comes, it's to conquer the earth. Just like Esau, the Most High allowed Esau to conquer the whole earth. Well, the Most High is going to allow Yahweh and his men to conquer the whole earth. Put the other nations into subjection. And it's going to be the hard way. We're going to do it by force. The saints shall take the kingdom by force. And not nicely. We're not going to come in and have a G7 summit with you and sit down and send some representatives to talk about it. There ain't going to be no talking. The talking is happening now. When the Lord returns, it's going to be ass whippings. Back in Jeremiah 30 and 16, "Therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries," which means our enemies, right? All right, Satan, number one adversary, Esau, Edom. It says, "Every one of them shall go into captivity." So everyone's going into captivity that has come up against us, man. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Anybody that has come up against the nation of Israel is going into captivity. So whether it be Esau, Elam, Ishmael, all right, Canaanites, all right, Phut, All right, the Japhetic nations, they all going into slavery, man. Esau's gonna have it the worst, of course, because he did us the worst. But you all have to pay. It says, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. So we're gonna spoil you. We're gonna spoil your goods. We're gonna get the booty, which is the spoils of war, and that's that. And there's not a damn thing you heathens can do about it, because the Lord is gonna be with us. Once again, the Lord is gonna say He is our power, and we're gonna say we're His people again. Okay, so there's one, and you read throughout the scriptures. Once, all right, the Israelites would obey the Lord, and He would be with them. He would always fight their battles, and they would come out victorious every time. All right, not even close. They would be down in number and still win. Why? Because the Lord fights our battles, and the Lord is sending His Son, okay, Yahweh back to lead the charge. And the Lord's going to give us spiritual powers, and none of your technology, none of your weaponry, okay, is going to be able to stop us. Okay, not even close. So we'll end off here in the book of Psalms. Psalms 147. It's 149, Psalms 149, and I'll start at verse 4. It says, for Yahweh, verse 4 says, for the Yahweh taketh pleasure in His people. See, the Lord taketh pleasure in His people. All right? The Lord has been, chastising us over and over throughout all these captivities. Why? Because He loves us at the end of the day. It wasn't, just to, you don't just punish your kids just to punish them. There's a reasoning behind it. You punish them because you love them and you want them to learn and do better. Well, this has been the biggest ass whooping, and it's gonna get worse. The time of Jacob's trouble, Esau's last hoorah, and then he's gonna be useless to the Lord. All right, then he's gonna be serving us, and then we're gonna get rid of him after 1,000 hardcore years of slavery. Out there in the sun all day, getting sunburned, getting boils. It's gonna be bad for you Edomites. But it says, for the Lord Yahweh taketh pleasure in His people. He will beautify the meek with salvation. Yeah, and that's what's coming, the salvation. And that's gonna be when the salvation comes, that's gonna be the beginning of their captivity for these other nations, man. All right, because it's all downhill from there on out. Verse 5, let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand. Hey, we got a two-edged sword right now with these scriptures. Actually, it's sharper than any two-edged sword. But when the Lord returns, He's coming with a sword too. Because why? The Lord said, those that I would not have me not reign over them, bring them hither and slay them before me. We're gonna have some supernatural abilities. You watch some Star Wars movie where they got lightsabers. That's gonna be us, man. We're gonna have power to do that. Pick you up and move you. What they call it, telekinesis. All right, split like Mr. Manhattan in the movie Watchmen. He would just blow you up, man. He would just take you apart in pieces. We're gonna have abilities that have never been seen before. It says, verse 7, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people. So the Lord is gonna allow His people, the saints. I remember in Revelation 13 it says, here's the faith of the saints, the faith in the hope of the saints, right? Well, here it's talking about the saints are gonna get vengeance. They're gonna punish the people. All right, and that's gonna be the vengeance of the Lord. Okay, vengeance is mine, as the Lord has said. But we're going to get to execute that vengeance. He's going to use us, His weapons of war, battle axes and weapons of war. The Israelites, starting with Yahweh and the elect. And we're going to come punish these people for their evil doings to us, to the world. All right, look at the condition of the earth, man. Somebody's got to pay for this. Verse 8, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron. So your top level elites, all right, your noble people, higher up echelon, so to say, those are going to be the ones and first ones to get chains slapped on them and to get their asses whooped. You thought whipping us in slavery was tough. Wait till we get our turn. You gonna see what a real ass whooping looks like, and it's gonna be your elites that first experience it, the ones that never worked a good day's work in their life, never had to work for food, never had a struggle in their life. Or they gonna be struggling till 1,000 years is over with, every damn day except for the Sabbath. You gonna see what true captivity looks like, you know, and rightfully so. If the Lord did it unto his people, imagine what he's gonna do unto those that the wicked, whom he has indignation forever. Right? Verse 9, it says, to execute upon them the judgment written. So the judgment that's coming is already written, and it's gonna be fulfilled. All right? Every word of these prophecies will come to pass. This honor have all his saints praise ye Yahweh. So, hey, Kahala Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. These heathens' time is up. You're circling the drain. You're on a steep decline. And slavery is being prepared for you. Chains and fetters of iron. Yokes. Okay? And on my plantations, me personally, I'm gonna find the heaviest metals I can to make them chains out of. Them chains is gonna be heavy, and you're gonna have to drag them around all day long while you're doing your work. I had some big ass Hamites standing over you, whipping your back, since they like to do that. Them damn Egyptians, the Philistines, or Mizraim. But Lord's will, this is edifying. This is prophecy. So when you're feeling down and out, remember that we're gonna have multitudes of servants, slaves, all right, captives, however you want to put it. And guess what? Women are part of that. And they did it to us, we're going to do it to them. But we're not going to do it in no wicked way. We're just going to take their women that are virgins, that look good. We're not going to rape your wife in front of you. That's wicked. We're just going to do it worse. We're going to take your daughter from you. All right? So, with that, Lord's will, this is edifying. Until next time, I say shalom.